want your opinion on something. Do you think I should send Brad Treliving a Valentine? Why? You're all over me. You don't even know why? Okay, you know what? That was rude. Why would you give Brad Treliving a Valentine? Because he signed Joseph Woll to a 3-year contract extension before the season even began, and it doesn't kick in until next year. You know what? That's valid. It's valid? 100% valid. I'm gonna send him one too. Let's go! Do you have a humiliation kit? This is all I ask you to do. I'm having a great finger flick. You're allowed to show up. This team is ruining my life. I'm taking crazy pills. With you, wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Victory, Puppy Ziggy! 0.5 seconds, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2. Whoa! What a save by Iggy! You're unreal, but don't break my nose again. Okay, 2 normal ones. Yep. Okay, nope. Okay, well, he got it. He got the rebound. Here, another one. That one, you know what? You gotta pick up your game. It's okay, they're coming off a losing streak. Come here, bud. Oh, yeah. Leafs win! Oh, they tied it. No, they didn't! Leafs win! 4-3 over the Edmonton Oilers. Holy woly, what a goalie. Dude, it wasn't even the third period yet, and we're already talking about Joseph Woll needs to get the belt for this game right away. And then the game ends and he gets the belt right away. Here he is after the game with the championship belt, and also Matt Murray without a shirt. Check it out. Dudes rock, hell yeah, brother. Dude. Let's talk about 3-0 leads on Saturday nights. January 11th, the Leafs lost 3-0 to the Vancouver Canucks, and that was all there was to the game, and it sucked and we hated it. The very next weekend, the Leafs down 3-0 after 1 against Montreal. The Leafs proceed to score 7 straight goals. Then they have a 3-0 lead against the Edmonton Oilers 2 weeks later, and it's safe until it very isn't, and then it very much amn't. Which is a word that I just made up because I have no idea how to describe that thing. I mean, well, if you're an Oilers fan, you might call it getting goalied. Dude, that game was the game that Score Effects built. Do you know what Score Effects are? Let me help you. This isn't just a hockey thing, it's across all sports. It's hockey, it's soccer, it's basketball. Naturally, at some point, the team with the big lead is going to settle back and play defense. The team that is trailing is going to start cheating for offense. It creates a perfect storm where one team runs the other's show until either one ties the game or the other one survives. The Leafs were up 3-0 after 1 period, and honestly, it was the only even hockey period of the game. The Oilers looked real good off the opening faceoff. They were definitely the better team. The Leafs were playing scared against a team that had a top line featuring both Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. And if there was ever any question who the better players were, just watch this game. Like, dude, Marner and Matthews were magic in this game. They were actually so gosh darn good in this game, and Marner scored the winner. Their main mission in life from the moment this game began until the moment it ended was to shadow those two and stop them. You almost look at it and go, why wouldn't Chris Knobloch just split them up? And that would ruin the Leafs' whole plan. You know why he didn't split them up? Because when they're together, they're cracked! Like moment after moment after moment in this game, it basically didn't matter who was out there against them. They had the puck. The best you can hope to do is keep them to the perimeter. And if you can't do that, you gotta block it or try to steer it wide. And if you can't do that, you gotta hope your goalie stops it and clear the rebound for him. And if you try to clear the puck but it doesn't get across the blue line, you better get ready to do that whole thing over and over and over again until either you get rid of it or they score. Here, we'll get into the brilliance of the Oilers later because there will be a time to talk about that. What separated these two teams in the first period was what the Leafs could do and what the Oilers couldn't. The Leafs got John Tavares and Matthew Knies back. That was a huge factor in them winning the game. It was a huge factor in them getting the goals that they scored. And what have I been saying the entire time both those guys have been out? They miss them, not just for their offense, but the type of offense they provide. The Leafs don't have it in abundance. They go to the net! Now, the Oilers went to the net in this game. They didn't go to the net as effectively as the Leafs did, but they were there. They were all over it. They were crashing and banging. They were shooting it through traffic as well, in hopes of getting their sticks on a rebound or having it go off of a bottom. But Wohl would make the first save, the puck would die right in front of him, and his defense would clear the puck out of harm's way. Puck goes down the other way. It goes into the Oilers' end. Leafs float the puck on. Stuart Skinner makes the initial save, and what happens to the puck? It's served you on a platter like from a waiter in an old movie about a pizzeria and he's got a mustache and a bad accent. Oh, Bobby McManino, why don't you try some of my pizza pie? Manja! Stereotypes of Italians in media have caused so much damage. But that was the kind of thing that we were dealing with here. Well, no, okay, the first goal was just Willie throwing it on and, that shouldn't have gone in. Stuart Skinner should have had that one, let's be honest. William Nylander with his 30th? His 30th? And the Leafs are up 1-0. Fortunate to be up 1-0 given the start to the game, but here we go. Can they build off the momentum? They do. They draw a call, twist and shout, hooray! Mitch Marner throws it in front of the net. No, and Austin Matthews, he has a chance to do something with it. I can't. This is terrible. Nona, I'm sorry. I know my last name's Glenn. My grandmother's name is Rakina. I'm not lying. My real-life godfather's real-life name is Leonardo. Okay, stop. Matthew Nyes with the quick hands off the rebound goes in. A few minutes later, the Leafs draw another one. Second unit gets in on the fun. Domi gets an assist. Riley gets an assist. But it's Bobby McMann roofing it on what? The rebound. And we head into first intermission with the Oilers out shooting the Leafs, but not by a wide margin, and the Leafs have a 3-0 lead. Now, here's what we go into the second period with, though. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, not on the bench. He's gone to the dressing room. He leaves the game. The Leafs have 5 defensemen now. Cool. Super cool thing to have happen 1 period into the 4-game Western road trip. It's a lot of fun. Also, now the Oilers are going to be cheating for offense for 40 minutes. Unless they tie it before that, which they might. They're the Oilers. With did I mention the 5 defensemen? Yeah, it's tricky. And so you're already managing the hell out of your bench just to try to kind of get Draisaitl and McDavid under control. Now you got to do it with how many different D pairs did the Leafs try in this game? 1,000? Probably. Dude, the period in which the Oilers had their fewest amount of shots was still better than the period in which the Leafs had their most. That is how up against it and shelled Joseph Wohl was. But he made save after save after save after save, and defense was good. They were directing shots wide, and they were also blocking them, but save after there it is, it finally went in. And what did it take? A boosh bomb through traffic. That guy knows how to score, and I haven't even mentioned his name yet in this video. Do you see how many weapons they have, dude? After the elation of the Leafs being up 3-0 after 1, by the time the end of the second period rolled around, it felt like a miracle the game wasn't tied. 18 seconds into the third period, I just want to say how inspiring it was that the Edmonton Oilers not only finished this game, but finished it like in a real, a way that they can feel pride in. Because it's not easy to compete in a game when an entire hockey team stuffs you into a blender and turns it on like they did 18 seconds in. We need the NHL Edge goal visualizer to show you this one because it's despicable. All right, Matthews has it. Matthews, McCabe, Nyes holds onto it, sends it to Matthews. Matthews drops it for Marner. He breaks everybody's ankles and he scores off of his own. That's how it happened in real, actual time. And then how does Mitch celebrate? Just a little 4-1, and the relief that I felt because I had a feeling I just watched the game-winning goal. No, I know I just said they were up 3 goals. It's the Oilers. They can do that. Like, for example, 6 minutes into the period, Zach Hyman drives wide, cuts to the middle, and just fires it on. It goes in. Probably not what the Oilers were expecting on account of basically nothing had gone in up to that point. Joseph Wohl was in a position he was in a position when the Leafs were up 3-0 that if the Oilers tied it, his save percentage would still be above 900. You know why they were so surprised? Do you realize if the Edmonton Oilers had tied this hockey game, Joseph Wohl's save percentage still would have been above 900. That's how hard of a time the Oilers had beaten this guy. And then Hyman scores, and the game feels attainable. 5.5 minutes later, about 9.5 minutes to go in the game, Still way too much time. And Corey Perry, did it have to be Corey Perry scored? By the way, I think there's going to be some complaining about the Leafs' roughness, shall we say, at the end of the game. I don't want to hear any of it because Corey Perry's very obvious intentional pick on Max Pacioretty was not called. Oh, he didn't mean to. He was looking at him and he's Corey Perry. You gotta protect their star players. What? No. I agree with you, but you're Corey Perry. Dude, you've been in the league for over 2 decades. You can't fool us. You've made an entire career out of chasing guys around who don't usually fight and then trying to drag them into a fight or a coincidental minor or something. I'm old enough to remember that time you chased Pavel Datsyuk around all night and then he grabbed you and beat you like a dusty rug. Sorry. Wow. I don't know where that came from. It's like watching a guy beat your team up for like over 2 decades has, in effect. God, I'm so glad he's back in the Western Conference. Oh, thank you for taking him. And the Leafs are just surviving at this point. They gave it back a little offensively. Obviously, something got through to them, and they're like, okay, we obviously can't just crawl into a shell for the rest of the game. We will get killed. But once that shell went back on, everyone is just putting it on the line. Nick Robertson, but how many career NHL block shots did he have before this game? He blocks a shot so hard. I don't think I've ever seen this where a player had to get like dragged onto the bench. Usually it's by a teammate, but this was by the equipment staff. Might have been the medical staff. Either way, it looked painful. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Almost 2-minute dart. Leon Draisaitl scores from the Leon Draisaitl spot. And the Oilers was 4-1'd the Leafs. Why are they taking a timeout? Are things that bad that the game tying goal with 2 minutes to go? Craig, what? They're reviewing it? They're reviewing it? Okay, so here's the thing. There's too many reviews, right? We asked for them for a long time, and then they showed up, and we're like, oh, that's terrible. Here's how good the Leafs video staff are. Look at them, all right? You look right here. Sam Kim and Jordan Bean. If you hear that the Leafs are reviewing for offside, it should ring around the entire arena like the bells of The Undertaker. The lights should shut off, smoke should start coming from wherever they parked the Zamboni, and you just pray that it's not the Zamboni. Listen, if it's a goalie interference review, who knows, right? Who knows? It's so subjective, nobody knows. The beautiful thing about offside, it's offside. Or it's onside. It's rarely... Now that they have the plane rule, not the toe on the ice rule, crossing the plane of the zone, isn't it so beautiful? I mean, the most complicated thing about an offside review is did the guy have the puck or not? That wasn't the case here. The second I heard it was the Leafs reviewing for offside, because of Sam Kim and Jordan Bean, I knew this goal was coming back. That was all it took. I didn't need to see it. And then I saw it, and they were right, because of course they were right. The Leafs are 12 for 12 on offside reviews dating back to 2022. They don't miss! And who was it? Who was offside? Dude, I actually thought he looked pretty good in this game. I'm rooting for the dude. But it was John Klingberg. I'm not asking this. I would never ask this, but producer Drew asked this during the stream. Was that John Klingberg's greatest moment as a Leaf? Drew, you're mean. You're mean. It was his hips, man. I think he's going to be great in Edmonton. Dude, he's offside. So, it's no goal. But they add like over 20 seconds to the clock, and that made me scared and sad, and I might have gone to the bathroom. The Oilers try, and John Tavares breaks Corey Perry's ankles in the neutral zone. It looks like he has an easy empty netter, and he passes it, and the pass isn't good. So the Oilers come the other way. Oof, Maroon. Joseph Woll makes an incredible save, a game-saving save, and it's not even the save that you think I'm talking about, because he did it like 9 times in the final 10 seconds. But with less than 5 seconds to go on the clock, Joseph Woll makes a save, and the puck squirts to Corey Perry. It's on his stick. There's less than a second left, and Joseph Woll said, "Give me that sh-! Ah! Joseph, give me that sh-! Woll!" And if you want to know how big that save was, low-key, very underrated moment in this whole thing, Mitch Marner's reaction. Look at it, that's all you can say in that situation. Ah! See what I'm talking about with Mitch, by the way? See what I'm talking about? Yeah! That's whatever that is in his eye. Ah! In this photo, you will see the winning goaltender who made over 40 saves and the guy who scored the game-winning goal nearly 20 minutes ago. Look, you feel good. You feel great. You start your road trip off right with 2 points. I'm not gonna tut them for, oh, they got outplayed or whatever. It's the Oilers. It doesn't need to be a good win or a bad win or a whatever. 2 points is 2 points. It doesn't need to be any of that. It's a lesson, a very important lesson. And we often make fun of the Leafs because they're constantly learning lessons. But listen to this lesson. You got 2 points. Great. It's not about getting outplayed or whatever. It's the beginning of February. Trade deadline's in a month. You don't got to worry about that. That's the general manager's job. You are 2 months plus a week away from the beginning of the Stanley Cup playoffs. What do you want to do there, right? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Gonna get in? Oh, you're probably gonna get in. Then you got to win a round. Easier said than done, right? It's kind of difficult. You did it a couple years ago. You almost did it last. You always almost do it. You did it a couple years ago. You get to the second round. You lost. You didn't like that, did you? No. What if you could win the second round? That'd be great. Then you go into the conference final. Well, why stop here? Right? Why stop there? Then there's the Stanley Cup final. A place the Toronto Maple Leafs have not been since 1967. Here's what I want this game to put on the minds of the Leafs and their management, who actually have control over what players are or aren't on the team. That is what's waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. You're fighting to get somewhere you haven't been in nearly 6 decades. You get through 1, you get through 2, you get through 3. That is waiting for you in the Stanley Cup final. Or something monstrous enough to beat that in a 7-game series. Oh, by the way, the last thing to beat that thing plays in your division. They're the team you're currently in a dogfight with right now in the standings. Isn't that fun? 2 points is 2 points is 2 points, but sometimes you play a team and you understand you've met the bar. No, the Oilers are not a perfect team, but it's the fact that they're this flawed and this great all at the same time. Dude, they get Ekholm back. You think you win that game? I know, ifs and buts, candy and nuts and all that. Dude, what are these guys gonna look like after the deadline? If you ever need anything to think about in the weight room, that. Getting to that level. Never has a team scored so effortlessly. They get down multiple goals, which is obviously a negative, but when they do, it's nothing to them. It's nothing. They cut through teams trying their absolute hardest like butter. And you went into the Bars barn and took 2 points from them. But in a series, that's the bar. Questions. I'm assuming my victory puppy treat is on its way. You said we all deserve victory puppy treats. You said! Dude, you're welcome to like eat dog food. I mean, who amongst us has not, whomst amongst us has not eaten some sort of pet food, probably dog food, because they were dared to by their partner or a friend? Yes, I have tried kibble, yeah. Do you think that challenge tonight makes you feel better about the non-challenge last week? Always trust the video crew. No. They're good. They're always good. They've always been good, even that weird choice to not challenge. I think it was, what was it, goalie interference? Or I can't remember what the call was. The kick? Was it the kick? When it comes to offside, Undertaker. Eyes roll in the back of your head. These guys, the Leafs video department, Sam Kim, Jordan Bean, they're perfection. So, wipe the sweat from your brow. Western road trip continues. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends, dude, go subscribe to the SDPN YouTube channel. Do you know how many trade videos we've made over the last 48 hours? Do you know? You should go find out.